How will all of these cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in with how the trade setup looks like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the FNO setup for the morning as well. It's been an interesting week for the markets, and almost until 1 p.m. yesterday, it was turning out to be yet another sluggish session for the Nifty. But then we saw that massive upside coming in from the lows of the day. The Nifty took support at 24,500, bounced from those levels, recovered 300 points from the lows of the day, and ended exactly at 24,800. And now that keeps them just within 200 points of that historic 25,000 mark. Now, if it does happen though today, it'll be the fastest 1,000-point rally on the Nifty on record. That'll take just 15 sessions because we just hit 24,000 on the Nifty on the 27th of June. But what were the stocks that contributed to that upside from the lows of the day in the second half of the weekly options expiry session? You pull up the contributors and you can see it was IT all the way, TCS, Infosys, ICICI Bank, Reliance. So all of them, the index heavyweights putting their hand up and taking the Nifty higher in the closing trade yesterday. But Infosys will be the stock to watch out for. Very strong earnings as well. The ADR ended 8% higher overnight, and that will also keep the entire IT pack in focus because the Nifty IT index crossed the mark of 40,000 for the first time yesterday, and it's up 2.5% so far for the week, and it'll be the fifth straight weekly gain for the Nifty IT index. And besides Infosys, there are a lot of other IT earnings to watch out for as well that came out after market hours. Tata Tech, Persistent Systems, L&T Tech, all of them will react to earnings. We'll keep an eye out for the Nifty Bank as well because after multiple failed attempts to cross that 52,500 mark, it did so in yesterday's trading session led by ICICI and SBI. So it'll be interesting to see if that holds. Now for the week, the Nifty is up 1%. The Nifty Bank has been an underperformer with gains of just over 0.5%. But big earnings day today. Dalmia Bharat, South Indian Bank, there are plenty of earnings reactions, but it's a lot of Nifty companies reporting results today with Reliance, Ultratech, Wipro and many others. And you'll watch out for any other follow-up selling in the PSU stocks, specifically in the defense and railway names as well. And the GIFT Nifty, as we just highlighted earlier, is implying a slightly positive start for our own markets. The implied open going higher as we speak, started off at 30 points, now it's at 50 points. So a positive start in store for our own markets as well. But over to Abhishek now, who would list out the stocks to watch out for in today's trade. Abhishek, good morning. What's on your list?
Good morning, Homa. So to begin with, as you mentioned, Infosys has been clearly the result of the season so far. So they have raised the guidance of CC growth, that is constant currency growth, to 3 to 4% for FY25 from the earlier guidance of 1 to 3%. Net profit has beaten our poll. It's come in at 6,370 crores versus our poll close to 6,200 crores. Persistent system revenue was up 5.7% YOY. However, profits declined by 2.8% on a YOY basis. Tata Technologies revenue were weak, just up by 0.9% YOY, and the profits were down by 15.5% on a YOY basis. L&T Tech, the numbers are below our poll. The revenue was at 2,462 crores. We were working with a number of 2,520 crores. The PAT came in at close to 313.6 crores. We were working with a poll of 327 crores. JSW Infra, weak profits, revenue up 15% YOY, while the profits were down 8.9% YOY. Dalmia Bharat, the revenue were at 3,621 crores. We were working with a number close to 3,600 crores. The profit came in at 145 crores, while our poll suggested 152 crores. Saga Cement, the revenue was up 4% YOY, and the net losses actually contracted. It's now down to 28.3 crore versus loss of 39.8 crore in the same quarter last year. CI Automotive, that was a weak result. Revenue was down 1.2% YOY, and the profits were down 28% YOY. Back to you.
Plenty of stocks, earnings reactions and earnings today as well. Abhishek, thanks a lot for that. And over to Sudarshan now, who joins in with cues from the FNO space. Sudarshan, good morning. What's the setup looking like on the FNO side?
Morning, Harma. So 25,000 is almost here, and as you said, if it happens, it would be the fastest ever 1,000-point gain for our benchmark index, that is Nifty. So talking about yesterday, it was a double trigger for market. Weekly expiry coinciding with big move in IT names, and it seems it's likely to continue even today, and that is courtesy Infosys strong earnings. So what has happened over the last few sessions? Look at Nifty's highs and the closing levels. Would see one thing common, and that would explain the strength of this market. For last 3 sessions, we are seeing a close near day's high, and at the same time, protecting lows of the previous day. And this, if I could say, is on the back of continued buying by FIs. Even yesterday, we saw FIs buying shares of more than rupees 5,000 crore in the cash market and nearly rupees 2,600 crore in index futures. And they have also added 58,000 long contracts, and to hedge that to an extent have added short contracts of more than 15,000. But there is no change in the thesis. It remains a buy on the fall. Look at FI's long exposure. It remains steady at around 81% with net contracts of almost 4 lakhs. Now let's come to the option front. Major activities were seen on 24,800 call, where premium was 227, and 25,000 call, where premium was 133. And on the put side, we saw action in 24,800 put and 24,700 put. So what's the resistance and support levels for Nifty? Resistance is now seen north to 25,000, that is around 25,030, and support is around 24,600. On the stocks front, we have now 11 stocks in the band with an addition of 4 new stocks yesterday. But keep an eye on Chambal for it's out of the band. And lastly, 2 stocks in Nifty that might be in the focus because they have been seeing a huge change in the open interest, and those are ONGC and ITC.
Keep an eye out on all of these names. Sudarshan, thanks a lot for that update. Almost there on the Nifty at 25,000.